What is up, all of my beautiful dudes and dudettes? We have Giant Skyhawk here with a deck that he went X-0. Not a single defeat with this deck. Day one, he hasn't really talked too much about his day 2 record with it, but day 1 he suffered not a single defeat with. What were you playing?
I was playing Terrorking Salmon Pacifist.
Terrorking Salmon Pacifist. Wow, okay. How did you feel about the deck going into the event?
I felt really good. I feel like it has a really good matchup against the meta. You have a lot of different ways to remove a Rise Heart. It's not something that cares about the macro effect. Against something like Branded, the Pacifists, if they destroy the tokens with Mirror Jade, they just come right back. So it's very difficult for Branded to clear your board. I'd say the Runic matchup was something that I was maybe the most concerned about, but I think you can start grinding things out a lot in the matchup. Like you've got a lot of your quick play disruptions that you activate from the hand while you control Pacifists that deal with the Fountain. You've got a lot of different ways to protect your spell traps from the quick plays.
Did you ever have an issue with the Runic Destruction targeting your Pacifist the city?
No, Stealth Attack is fantastic for that. You just banish the tokens and then, you activated an effect, summon another token. Next turn, tribute summon Terrorking Salmon. Just fantastic.
And how did you feel about the trap matchups, Trap Tricks, Labyrinth, those decks that were seeing quite a bit of play?
I've got a lot of Destruction, and a lot of those trap cards are based on monster removal. I don't put up a lot of monsters, so long as I can get to Terrorking Salmon, I don't have a problem.
All right, let's just hop right into the deck profile so that we can show people what exactly you were playing.
Absolutely. I hope this convinces more people to pick up the deck. So to start off with, obviously, we've got 3 copies of Terrorking Salmon.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read you its effect real quick. A feared salmon, master of the Sea of Darkness. Its roe is the best delicacy in the world of darkness. 2400 attack, 1000 defense. As you can tell, that's Monarch stats. It's a level 5 water monster, which means it works with Sea Stealth Attack. And obviously, it is just a terrifying fish. So next up, to search it, we've got 3 copies of Summoner's Art, all in different rarities, specifically to tilt people. My round 3 opponent saw a super and common in the same game and just conceded out of shame. But this adds Terrorking Salmon.
Okay.
It's the important thing. So next up, we've got 1 copy of Fish Sonar. This is a new card out of LED 7. Add Terrorking Salmon, special Terrorking Salmon if you control Umi.
Did you feel like you were missing the 2nd and 3rd copy of Fish Sonar, or did you feel that 1 was enough?
I think 1 was enough. You'd rather hard open the Terrorking Salmon. The Fish Sonar is more like an edge case scenario, but it is nice to have in the deck. You dig through a lot. You gotta get to more copies.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Do you feel like playing 3 would kind of be like a win more tactic?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I would rather just see the Terrorking Salmon.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Awesome. So next up, we've got 3 copies of the Monarch's Stormforth.
Okay.
Fantastic way, against a Rise Heart, you just go activate Stormforth, tribute their Terrorking Salmon, or tribute their Terrorking Salmon. No, actually, you tribute their Rise Heart, and then you get to keep the Terrorking Salmon, which is why I was thinking about getting ACL, but this is just better.
Yeah.
1 copy of Dimensional Fisher. It's not very good into cash, so we're just playing the 1. I know it came to 3, but next up, we've got 2 copies of Pacifist the Phantasm City and 1 copy of a Legendary Ocean. You might be wondering why 2 and not 3, and that is because these cards are all treated as Umi, and we need to play the Legendary Ocean so that we can normal summon Terrorking Salmon in a pinch.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. So next up, we've got the 1 Terraforming, obviously to search our field spells, still limited. 3 copies of Demise of the Land. People are doing this for Mystic Mine, I'm doing it for Pacifists. We do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got 3 copies of Phantasm Spiral Battle. Battle's fantastic. It's a quick effect pop from your hand, really good for dealing with stuff like Runic Fountain. If you control Pacifists, or even if you don't have Pacifists, you can set it and flip it up. And on that note, we have 2 copies of Phantasm Spiral Power. This is Imperm. It's just Imperm that you get to activate from hand, even if you have stuff on field.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it also reduces monsters by 1,000 attack, so it can help Terrorking Salmon get over some threats that are a bit larger.
Oh, nice. All right.
Speaking of, we've got 2 copies of Fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi. I was really worried about time in the grind game, so I didn't want to play Judgment. Instead, we're playing Fists. If you control a normal monster, Omni-Negate, and we have a target for this that's quite funny. And you can activate Fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi if you control Terrorking Salmon.
Okay.
Because it's a normal monster, it works with Fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi.
All right.
So.
Did you find that the 6 Terrorking Salmon were a little clunky?
No, I don't think so. I want to see Terrorking Salmon every game, so I thought like that amount was about right.
All right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got 1 copy of Macrocosmos. Again, we are playing it, but even though it's at 3, just at 1 because cash is kind of all over the meta.
Okay, yeah.
It's worth it, but we sided out. I'll show you what we sided out for later. The siding pattern is fun.
All right.
So next up, we got one copy of Metaverse.
Only one?
Yeah, I like Demise of the Land better because I feel like I want Pacifist to be more reactive instead of proactive.
That makes sense.
Whereas Metaverse is something that can be ashed, whereas Demise of the Land can't.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of ash running around because of branded. So I think I wanted it just to like have the right amount of field spells, but I think Demise of the Land plays around a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we've got 3 copies of Sea Stealth Attack.
Okay, I've read this card before. It's one of those cards that can be busted in the right person's hands.
Exactly. If Pacifist is gotten rid of, you just go Sea Stealth Attack, bam, we activate it again. Activate Umi from the graveyard. It's also, you can remove stuff. The funny interaction with Pacifist is if your opponent activates an effect, say Lightning Storm, you go Sea Stealth Attack and banish the token. On resolution, because you don't control a token, Pacifist gets to summon the token, and none of your spell traps get destroyed.
Ooh.
So
okay, that is spicy.
The other important effect is that if a level 5 or higher water monster battles your opponent's monster, destroy it immediately.
So just kind of like the Kashtira is how they banish a monster upon attack declaration.
Yeah, exactly. This is just if it battles, though. So like Fenrir was kind of disadvantageous for me because if you have to attack with it, this is just if it battles.
That's pretty nice.
And the card that you want to use to set this up with is Terrorking Salmon.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's just the best card. The fact that it's level 5, just absolutely fantastic for Sea Stealth Attack, banish Salmon, bring it back. Just excellent protection for your back row. After that, I wanted some type of battle protection, and I wanted something to keep other big monsters off the field and reduce monsters. So I'm playing 3 copies of Punch in the Box.
Okay.
Something people have been worried about is like Arrival Cybers adding Nister or Towers monsters. This card adds those, so long as they control another monster and they attack with that monster first. You can kind of goad your opponent into doing that kind of stuff. And it reduces the attack of the other monster basically to 0, and it makes it really easy for Terrorking Salmon to run them over.
Okay, see, that makes sense. Okay, I can understand where you're coming from that.
Exactly, yep. So that's the main deck.
Question, I did notice that some of the Terrorking Salmon were in separate sleeves. Was that a game plan going into it? Some of them weren't in sleeves. What was your thought process behind them being in different sleeves?
Well, so this is kind of my Yu-Gi-Oh theory. So for example, if we look at my copies of Summoner's Art, you'll see that they're all different rarities, right? And at different rarities, sometimes the Yu-Gi-Oh elitists can get very tilted, and usually that means they start to make mistakes. This just pisses everybody off.
Okay.
So the extension of the theory is that if you just play in different sleeves...
Some without sleeves even.
Exactly. People will just be like completely confused and they won't understand what you're doing. They'll be so confused that they won't call a judge.
Okay, oh, that's fair. I have seen that before at certain tournaments.
Exactly. Okay, so that's the main deck.
Do you want to do the extra deck or the side deck next?
I think we'll do the extra deck.
Okay.
There is one, we don't go into this much, but there is one important card I'll talk to you about.
All right.
So we'll start off with one Yazi, Evil of the Yangzing. Just in case, we end up with Tuner on our side of the field. We've also got 2 copies of Sword Soul Grandmaster Chi Xiao.
Okay.
And we've also got a Baxia. 2 of them, actually.
Okay.
Sometimes I forget about the second one. Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. This is just great for damage removal. Honestly, it's weird. I was thinking about not playing this, and then it still didn't come up. I got the Crimson Blade. It's good against Kashtira, but I never summoned it, and I don't know why. It's funny, just thinking about my run, just had me undefeated. Like it was almost like I was just playing against myself. Adamantiped versus Chuffing. Soul Sinister Sovereign. We got Chinging, Baron. 2 Monk of the Tenyi. So this is interesting because it's not an effect monster.
Okay.
So it actually it doesn't work with Pacifist because Pacifist specifies normal monsters. But it does come up when your opponents don't read.
Okay.
1 copy. 1 copy of Shaman. I never made this.
Okay, and last card.
So this is the most important card.
Okay.
So the reason this is important is because you need a normal monster to summon up the fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi. So The optimal target used to be humanoid worm drake. There was a top 8 pacifist regional list from about a few years back that was like, we're playing humanoid worm drake because we want a normal water monster for sea stealth attack. But there's one that's slightly bigger. I present to you Aqua Dragon.
Oh, okay.
So this card is a 2002-2003 McDonald's promo that has literally never seen play until exactly now. And the reason you play it over humanoid worm drake is because it has 50 more attack points.
Just 50 more?
Yes, just 50 more. It's also a sea serpent, and it says limited edition. So I thought that was cool.
I respect that.
Okay, fantastic. So that's the extra deck. 16 cards. I couldn't decide on what to cut. So now I got the side deck.
Okay.
So what's interesting about the side is I really wanted a little bit more damage output because this deck does struggle to output damage. You're only putting like 1 to 2 salmon on board at a time.
Yeah.
The sushi can be difficult. So I decided to side a small dino package.
Okay.
So we got 1 Soul Eating Oviraptor, 1 Baby Stegosaurus, 1 Archosaur. We got 1 Giant Rex, 1 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, 1 Double Evolution Pill, 1 Lost World, and I've got 3 copies of Survival's End. This is specifically
Because of the normal monster.
Yes, because of Pacifist and Terrorking Salmon. So you can go use this, pop Terrorking Salmon to special Baby, banish Survival's End to do Baby destroy something else, special summon Oviraptor. Oviraptor effect send Giant Rex, and then you link the Oviraptor into Monk of the Tenyu.
Did it ever become an issue only having 1 Archosaur? Did you ever feel like you needed another one?
No, I think it was fine. I mean, I had one of the other ones, and back when Ryan Yu was doing theory crafting on Dinosaur, especially if you're already siding into Dinosaur, you will kind of want 1 Archosaur because you're already like going second. You need a full hand of playable cards. You don't want to open multiple Archosaur. If you draw the Archosaur, it's okay. I can still normal summon Terrorking Salmon. Perfectly fine. And then, also, to round out the package, 1 Petit Pteranodon and 1 Miscellaneousaurus. I'm playing one of all the dinos, mostly because Miscellaneousaurus is limited, and I thought he might get lonely.
I respect that. That's a good opinion.
Fantastic. So I do have a win condition in time. It's just 1 card on the side deck. Most people have that. It's like Gaga Cowboy, Scattershot. So I have Exodia, the Forbidden One.
Okay. And how many times do you feel like Exodia for game came up throughout the tournament?
It came up once or twice. I didn't end up needing to draw it because I drew Terrorking Salmon. But I think it worked out.
Okay.
So I mentioned these are the last 2 cards of the deck. Against the Kashtira matchup, Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure are basically dead. In fact, that can help them out a lot of times. Like, banish a guy, okay, cool, Birth, bring it back. So it's really difficult. So I really wanted something that would cover the matchup a little bit better. So I have 2 more copies of Terrorking Salmon to round out the last few cards of my side deck. These were killer all day. I would absolutely send this again.
All right. So how do you feel about your record overall?
It was fantastic. It was really, really freeing to just be able to kind of play on my own and be kind of on my own wave. It was such a blur. Like, I don't even remember really many of my opponents. They were mostly just awestruck by the row of Terrorking Salmon. I felt like it was a great tournament run.
Not just undefeated, but no ties either. Right?
Exactly. I have no draws, absolutely no losses. It felt amazing.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us this deck profile. And if you like it, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment down below what you think of Skyhawk's ratios here. He put a lot of thought into them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. People thought maybe you should only be playing 11 Terrorking Salmon, but I think playing the 12th and then 2 more on the side was really worth it.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much again, and check you around.